If you're confused, confused people. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about something that is really, really interesting because I've seen most foreigners, they assume meaning of words, and the meaning of words that they assume always ends them or puts them in trouble. It always puts them in trouble. Okay, so we're going to be clearing up this confusion. We're going to clear them up today on the live. Okay, welcome. I would like you to type on this your screen, like the live, so it get pushed out to a lot of people so we can all benefit from the live today. My name is Ezinoma and I help foreigners understand how Nigerians actually think and speak. So you in particular don't end up feeling lost in real conversations and even in professional settings. Who says pidgin English is not professional? Who says you can't use pidgin in professional settings? Call that person out for me on the live. Let's have a one-on-one talk. Because even in professional settings, you need pidgin English. Pidgin English is something that is very broad. So if a million of people in Nigeria here speak Pidgin English, then why do you think it's not a language to actually hold on to? Why do you think there's a restriction? So it can be used everywhere and anywhere. Hi, Bomb Dash. Thanks for joining in on the live today. Okay, you today you are going to learn how to use your words. Okay, if you don't understand what is being said in conversations, you are missing out on the real thing. If you are having a conversation and what they are saying, or if a conversation is going on and you are part of that conversation and you don't understand what exactly is being said, then nothing then you are like you are out of the whole equation. You wouldn't be counting because you don't understand what the conversation is all about. You're not really part of that conversation if you don't speak with them, if you don't understand what they say. So you cannot be in the room and feel like an outsider. So with pidgin English, you will be inside the room. You will not only be inside the room, you will be part of the room, you will be part of the conversation, you'll be part of what is happening in that room. But without that, you're going to always remain outside. It's like you're wearing an outfit that is wrong, that is not the dress code. They will ask you to stay outside. They will ask you to stay outside. Then, okay, just go outside first, I beg. Just go outside first. Make the people wait there. And it will always cause embarrassment. So before you come to Nigeria, or if you're already living in Nigeria, you're in Lagos, you're in Enugu, you are in what we are in Abuja, wherever you are, you need to learn how to use your words. People don't read you for your face. People read your tone and what you say will determine whether or not people will respect you. Okay? Because whatever you do in this life, you are always intentional. We are all intentional people. But as long as we're intentional as human beings, nobody wakes up in the morning, or you don't wake up in the morning and feel happy to go brush your teeth. I've never seen it. Nobody wakes up in the morning and feel, oh my god, I'm so excited. I want to go and brush my teeth. I won't go brush. You feel excited to go and brush your teeth. I've never seen that before. But why? But we still go ahead to brush our teeth every day. Why do we do that? It's because of what we stand to gain from brushing our teeth, because we're trying to avoid embarrassment, social embarrassment, and awkwardness. We don't want to shine our teeth and those yellow things are coming out of it. Or we don't want, when we open our mouth to speak, our mouth starts to smell. Because when your mouth starts to smell, people will avoid you. That is the same thing with pidgin. You're not learning pidgin. You're learning how to save yourself from embarrassment. You're learning how to win in rooms. You are learning how to not be confused when words are being said. You're learning how to use the tone, the grammar. You're learning how to read the situation so you don't end up being confused. So you don't end up being like a tourist or a foreigner. So when you come to Nigeria, you can stand your ground and say, waiting they happen, waiting they stop, and I'm there. But if you don't know that, you're going to feel like an outsider. But if you don't know that, you're definitely going to feel like an outsider. Same with going for a party. You don't put on a clothes because you want to, you are putting on the clothes for your house or your dog. You want to go outside, you want people to compliment you. That's why you go as far as putting on makeup, wearing the best of your clothes because you want been offended by what someone said because you feel like they said something and then it's annoying to you. Okay, I had a fight with my sister last year, and it was because of the misunderstanding. Okay, it was because of the words we said. So I was thinking she said this, and she was thinking I said this. That was the whole chaos. We can't they fight, they scatter ground. But at the end of the day, it was just confusion. We did not understand. We misread ourselves. She was saying A, I was thinking Z. So if you don't understand it, you will always feel offended by them. You will think, oh, why did he say this to me? Or why did he say that to me? And then you want to pick a fight. So there are some words that I will teach you that depends on the tone, the context, who is saying it, and the situation, so you can pick. So you know, because the way you speak to your boss is not the same way you speak to your friends. Oh, very true. The way I speak to my friends, it's not the same way I speak to my boss. I can speak to my friends anyhow, like not like in a disrespectful, but there's a way I can speak to her that I cannot speak to my boss. So why do you think that words are only enough? Why do you think that words are just enough, like just to know the words? No, there is one thing to knowing the words. There is one thing to knowing the words, and there is another thing to knowing what that word actually mean. There's another thing to understanding the word. So knowing the pidgin words, oh, I know the words, I know pidgin, is different from understanding. Some people brush their teeth while others brush very well. You see the difference? You see the difference? Some people know how to brush, why some people brush very well. That is with pidgin. Some persons know the words, while others understand the word and use them to their advantage. Okay, so when you use this word to your advantage, when you come to Nigeria, you're not giving someone else your power, because language is power. Okay, language is power. So when you understand these words and you use them, you're not handing someone else's your power to step on your head, because you know the words, you know what to say at every particular time. You know when you alight from a bus, you know what to say. You know when you get to the market, you know what to say. You know when you're in the boardroom, you know what to say. You know when you're with your fiance, your lover, you know when you are having that meeting, you know what to say to get what you want. But if you don't know what to say, you will end up feeling confused. You will end up feeling lost. You will not gain clarity, and then you will be having that awkward laughter. You will think you know the word, but when it's said, you miss the thing, and then you're laughing haha, because everybody's laughing. Or, I mean, that's an awkward laugh though, because you didn't actually mean it, or you don't understand what was said. So you always laugh. You do that awkward laugh, and then you think, oh, but when you're asked, so what is that person trying to say? You don't even know. Okay? You don't even know. Now there are three words I'm going to be teaching you today. Hopefully I'm able to teach three words. Hopefully, because I'm rushing. There are three pidgin phrases that I'm going to teach you today. Three pidgin phrases that I'm going to teach you today on the live. And if you don't understand these three pidgin phrases, you're going to end up feeling confused. You're going to end up feeling confused. You're going to end up feeling like, oh, what is this? You will misread people if you don't understand these three words. And then you'll be feeling like, okay, that person he did this to me, did it, he said this and that. But no, that is not what it means. That is not green screen on this life. But I cannot do that. I don't know. I can't put a green screen on this life. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Mm. I wanted to put the words for you so you see them. So as I teach it to you, you see the words. It's just like it's on TikTok. Like I do it like that on TikTok too, because everybody will see what I'm talking about and understand what I'm saying. Okay, hopefully my mic is working well. Yes. Now, these words I'm going to teach you, or what I will teach you today. If you don't understand these words, you go if you say that they talk to you anyhow, or you will feel offended. You go feel offended, but that's not the thing. Now, what are those words? The first one, foreigners always find this one confusing. I think I have this filter on. I don't like this filter. Foreigners always find this word very confusing. They feel that is what it means. But no, you have to understand tone, grammar, context, situation. All of these things are more important than the word itself that is being said. Now, what is the first word? You hear this word, oh yeah, oh yeah. What suddenly comes to your mind? Like you're like, okay, what is this person saying? I want to understand what this word means. Or you're confused. Or you hear oh yeah now, oh yeah now, but then you don't know what this word means, or you think it just means let's go. That's what you assume. And then you're okay, oh yeah, let's go. And then your friend, the person is like, where are you going? Where you they go? Where you they go? Afola B Firecat, hi to you. Bomb dash hi. But you're confused because this word have different meaning. Okay? Sometimes when this word is used in a context, in a sentence, people assume it means something different. So first of all, when you think of Oya, Oya, you too, where you they go? Mr. When you think of this word Oya, most of you, what comes to your mind is let's go. Let's go. That is the first thing that you can actually think of. But it's more than that. It's more than just let's go. Because I can use this word and I'm not telling you let's go. Are they fine? I'm not telling you let's go. I'm telling you something different. Okay, Oya is more like a command. Okay, it can be a soft command or it can be harsh. It depends. In let's say for instance, you want to go out with your friend. Okay, you and your friend won't come out. I won't go party. Okay, now your friend can't dey delay you. Your friend is wasting your time. Your friend is taking so long. What do you say? You say, oh yeah, now, like you're trying to tell her to hurry up. You're trying to tell her to hurry up. Hurry up, let's go. Oh yeah, now. You're calling her attention. Why you they waste my time? Oh yeah, now where would they go? Oh yeah, now let's go. Okay? Oh yeah, now let's go. You use that to tell her that we need to go. And when you look at this really carefully, you will know that you are saving time. Oya is a word that is used to save time. I don't teach you pidgin like everybody else will teach you pidgin English. I teach you differently. Oya damo they go. Oya now, babe. Oya now. Okay? Now, this Oya now can actually mean something else other than let's go. Now, what is it? Imagine that I'm on the call with you. Okay? I want you to use the power of your imagination. Imagine we're on the call together. Imagine that we're talking, okay, and this and that happened, it's my okay, and I say, oh yeah now, oh yeah now. What do you think I'm saying? What do you think I said in this context, in this situation? Oh yeah now is also used when you want to hang up a call. When you're like, okay, goodbye, or take care. Oh yeah now, take care. Or oh yeah now, we go see later, or we go talk later. So Oyana is like you are summarizing all that has been said. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Debonard. I don't know. I think that's the word. Okay, so after having a good conversation, Oyana, then I say Oyana. I'm trying to say, okay, I'm done with the conversation. I will talk to you later. It is very common. So that you don't end up being confused. Because in this context, if I tell you Oyana and you're thinking let's go, that is where the problem is. Because you're thinking X and I'm saying Y. Because you are thinking X and I'm saying Y. There's going to be a big difference. Okay? So you're thinking it means let's go. But then I'm saying I will talk to you later. That is what I'm trying to say to you. So I always tell you, tone and context actually matters. Tone and you cannot separate it. You see why knowing the words are not enough? Do you see why knowing what Oya means or just knowing the word Oya is not enough? Now you see why Oya is not enough. There is one thing to using the word, knowing the word, and there's another thing to understanding the word and actually using it correctly. That is where foreigners always get it wrong. That's where you always, fuck it up. I don't want to use the word fuck, okay? That's where you always mess it up. Okay, yes, that's better. Correct myself. That's why you always mess it up. You tend to, you tend to want to freeze the word like into a box. But the word is like, no, let me fly. Okay? Thank you so much. Hi, Lois. Luis? I don't know. So if you don't understand the word Oya, OYA, you will keep confusing yourself. You will keep having that confusion, and then you feel like you know it, but apparently you don't. So if you want to understand how Nigerians actually speak and how they communicate, you need to start following me. You need to stay on the live. You need to follow me. Yes, because we're going to decode all of these words together. Has nothing to do with disrespect. Some people say, "Oh yeah," like you're trying to swear at somebody. I say, "No, you." It doesn't mean you're swearing at somebody. There's no. It's nothing like you're insulting someone. It's just a word used to tell someone, "Let's go." Okay, it's used to show urgency. It. Oya is an action word. Okay, Oya is an action word. It means it signifies action. Let's go. I'll talk to you later. Come on. It's an action word. Okay. So you might think it's like it's too direct, oh yeah, oh yeah, and then you're thinking, oh, this is what it means, but no, no. There are four things you need in life. There are four important things you need in life. The first one, you need food. Everyone needs food. The second one, you need shelter. Of course, a roof over your head. The third one, you need um clothing. Okay? You need to wear clothes. Do you know the fourth thing you need is the ability to communicate and understand people, and that is language. Because if you don't know that, you might have food, clothing, and shelter, but at the end of the day, if you miss the last one, which is the most important one, you will end up feeling lost. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can go anywhere and have food, clothing, and shelter, but if I cannot communicate, I'm already losing in life. I'm already losing the game. People that play football, if you don't know how to tackle, or if you don't know how to shoot the ball to the goalpost, or if you don't know how to dribble, you're already losing the game. You cannot block, or you cannot defend, you cannot dribble, you cannot pass, you cannot, you're already losing. You're already losing because half of the time people will come and step on your head because you don't communicate, you don't understand them, you don't speak the language that they speak. But I'm not trying to scare you. Okay, I don't want to put fear from our body. I just dey tell her the truth. I just tell her the truth. I just dey open her eyes to say language really, really, really they important. You think it's just small matter. You think it's just small thing. If you cannot speak pidgin, you can still survive. Let them tell you. They're not telling you the truth. Pidgin is as important as French, Spanish, Korea, whatever language you can think of, German. It is also important. That is why when you're coming to a place and you don't know how they speak, you don't understand their culture, you will come there and be feeling like you're like you're like anything they say you say what? What are you trying to say to me? No, I don't speak English. I don't speak pidgin. I speak English. I don't easy. It doesn't take you 10 years to learn how to speak pidgin English. It doesn't take you 10 years to learn how to speak Pidgin English. With just simple breakdowns, you can actually learn how to speak Pidgin English. With just simple breakdowns, you can understand how to speak Pidgin English. So I don't want you to settle for the words. Knowing the words is one thing, but understanding it and using it is another thing. Knowing the words is one thing. Knowing the words is one thing, but actually understanding the word and being able to use it in conversation, that's another thing. That's where most of you miss it. You think knowing the word is enough. You think knowing the words is enough. That's why somebody tells you I'm fine. You assume that they are fine. And then the next person say, oh, he did not ask me very well. Okay? So knowing the words is one thing. Knowing the words is one thing. But actually using it in real time, that's another one. Let me ask you a question. Why is it that when you're cooking, you test your food? Some of you are not experts. I'm not a chef. I not be chef. I don't even sabi cook well self. Some of you are expert cooks. Some of you are learners. Some of you are beginners. Me, I'm a learner. I still dey learn how to cook. Why is it that when you have a visitor and you are cooking, you taste your food? You taste that food before you take it out from the fire to serve that food, to dish that food out to people to eat. What are you trying to avoid? You're trying to avoid embarrassment. You're trying to avoid giving people nonsense. That is why you taste your food. That is why you learn Pidgin, to avoid embarrassment. So when I come, nobody will play with me anyhow. So nobody will, step on my head and give me a tax collector prize or you cheat me. That is why you do it. Nobody do things because they want to do it. They do it for the transformation. They do it for the latter end. That's why I don't sell products. Okay? You do it for the latter end because you're trying to avoid embarrassment. Because you want to lean into the culture deeply. So people warm up to you very fast. So people warm up to you very fast. I always give an analogy whenever I come on this life. I always talk about Mr. A and Mr. B. Heaven bless them for me. I don't know who those people are, but I like to use them to talk about my experience. Now, what is the second word that foreigners always find confusing? That whenever they hear this word, they always assume something entirely different. They always assume something entirely different is going on, or that is what is not being said. The word that you hear when you hear the word how far, when you hear how far, the first thing that comes to your mind is distance. They're talking about distance. So you're offended. It's like each of you to be asking me, how was my journey or giving me something. You're saying how far, and then you're like, oh, that person is talking about distance. That person is talking about distance. Okay. That person is not talking about distance. That person is just offering you some friendly greeting. Okay. I don't know all of these people. I don't know spam or whatever I don't know. Bro, you better go ask your mama that. Okay. Crazy people. They wouldn't stay and listen. They be talking. Confuse people everywhere. They don't stay one place. They want to put themselves everywhere and show themselves. Now, when you hear how far, you think distance. But no, it's not about that. It is totally different from what you're thinking. Oh my god. Uh you're thinking distance. But no, how far is not distance. How far is not distance. How far is more like someone is saying hello to you. Hi. How far, my guy? How far, bro? How far, babe? Mommy, how far? Daddy, how far? Of course, I say how far to my parents. Of course. But you have to be very careful how you use the word how far. There are sometimes you don't use the word how far. There are sometimes you don't use the, especially with your boss. That's why when my students come in, I tell them and I show them how to use the words, when to use the word, with whom to use the word. You don't throw words like that in the air. You don't just throw how far everywhere in the air. It's going to bounce back. So when you use the word how far, or when you hear this word how far, I want you to take out what you think you know. And that person is just trying to be friendly. That is for starters, okay? So on the basis, or maybe you're just coming to Nigeria for the first time, you just land there, somebody saying, how far, bro? That person is trying to be friendly with you. That person is more like saying, what's up? What's up? How you doing, bro? How you doing, man? Let me say it's okay. How far? How you doing, man? What's up? What's good, by the way, bro? You look good. How far? You see the way I blended it inside? You see the way I blended the English, both English and Pidgin together. Now you think you've known the words. Oh, okay, now so how far means how are you, or how far means hello, or it's a greeting, and then you want to relax. You want to relax. Okay, I know the words. No, because how far, that is just one meaning. One meaning. One meaning. So if you that's the thing. Some of you learn and they give you half-baked information. You get half-baked information and then you think that you've known it. So when you use it, when you hear somebody use it, then you are confused. You'll be like, ah. Because sometimes when you hear how far, no one is responding. No one is saying anything. You're not supposed to say anything. Excuse me, guys. Because sometimes when you hear how far, you're not supposed to do anything. You're not supposed to say anything. But some of you already go, oh, how far is hello? And then like that, you're jumping. You're walking around with it. I know something. I mean, you know something. You know the words. You know one word. You don't understand it deeply to know the context, the tone, and how it's used in sentence and wherever you find yourself at. Whatever you find yourself in, sorry. In professional settings, how far is used to check updates. Bye bye. Bye. How far? Come back later. How far is used to check for updates. It is used to check for an update. How far the document I sent to you this morning? Are you done with it? Are you done with the document I sent to you this morning? And then you're like, I did fine. But what about the rest of the information? Or they can just even say just how far. They'll just tell you how far. And then you're like, I'm fine. But no. No one is asking you in that situation if you're fine or not. No one is asking you in that context if you are fine or not. They are asking for feedback. So how far is also feedback. Feedback. So if someone says how far and then you go answering I did at that point in time, you've missed it. You've missed it totally. People will laugh at you. So if at that point in time you go and you respond to how far with I did, I don't know. So now, what I'm asking for how far, I'm asking for feedback. Hey, Zeno, how far? Like how far? I'll be like, oh, I already sent it to your decks. Oh, I already emailed you this morning. And then you're confused. I'm giving feedback. Oh, Zeno, half of that document I wanted to sign yesterday, I did not sign. Bring it to my office. If my friend is owing me and I call her and I be like, babe, how far now? She knows I'm talking about money, not greeting. Baba, how far now? Baba, how far now? This is not for you to respond with I did fine. I'm talking about what we discussed last week. What is the conclusion? When am I getting my money? When am I getting this? Or when is this and that happening? So one word, different meaning. You don't need to stack up plenty of words into your head So that's why I say pidgin is a very, very easy language because one word can be used for different purposes. So when you know one word, you can apply it in different contexts and start using it and start winning with it. It's not just a greeting. It is not just a casual greeting. It is also feedback. 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 It's not all the time friendliness. It's not all the time friendliness. It can be feedback. Okay? So if you don't know it, you keep feeling left out. You keep feeling confused. You keep thinking, but that's not what I said though. That's not what Coach Zeno said though. What did she talk with that oh? Because you left the life. You watch one part and you disappeared. Oh, that's the word. You ran away. It's not enough to know the words. It's not enough. You have to understand the words and apply it. Same thing with this word, commot. Commot. Comot. Comot. Guys, when you hear the word commot, show you this.